Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. The Brazilian International Tournament just took place and I don't know what happened because I am pre-recording this. So this is Pablo from the past speaking to you. I hope I did well. I genuinely don't know. I hope I made the right deck choice. I hope I got the right matchups and I hope I did really well. But I can't know that. So today, because it was either go to Brazil and not do any, like I decided to pre-record videos for the next 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we will for sure have an analysis on what happened at Brazil, so you can definitely check that out then. But for now, I wanted to present to you this Yveltal-EX deck, as I'm calling it. It is the list that won Puerto Rico, and I did use it to win a League Cup down here in Mexico undefeated. That was really cool. The last 2 League Cups in Mexico, I won them undefeated, both. It's kind of like last season when I won 2 regionals undefeated. We don't have anymore, like we don't have that huge amount of regionals anymore. We only have 1, and that's in June 10th, and I hope a lot of you guys are coming over. But it felt nice. Ever since Australia, the worst I've done at a tournament is 3rd place, including Australia. Or ever since Anaheim Regionals, actually. Anaheim Regionals, I got top 64. And then the League Challenge the next day, I won it. And and ever since then, like, my worst placing at a tournament has been 3rd place, both internationally and in Mexico. So hopefully Brazil follows that trend. I would be very happy with a top 4 placing right there, or even better, you know. 1st place is the goal, of course, but I don't know how I did. Hopefully I did well. But for now, we're gonna take a look at this Yveltal-EX list. It's really good. I really enjoyed playing it over the weekend, although I'm pretty sure there were some games where I think I should have lost, but my opponent made some very crucial mistakes, and not checking their prices, not attacking the right Pokemon. Like, I knew they had Lysandre, but they chose, like, they made less than optimal plays, and that allowed me to really get into those games. The starts for this deck were not stellar. They were okay. I did get some crazy good hands, like I would Sycamore into the nuts and I would find my Garbodor, my Parallel City, my Float Stone against a Mega Raid deck which was fully set up. So I got some really lucky hands and I was able to take advantage of my opponent's mistakes, and that would be the main reason why I won that tournament. Not because the deck completely dominated, not because it was the greatest meta call, but because my opponents definitely made some less than optimal misplays, or less than optimal plays, and I was able to capitalize on that. But yeah, opponents will not always play to their best. And that's sometimes the reason why you shouldn't concede some games. In a best of 3, things change, but in best of 1 Swiss rounds, there's no reason to concede a match because you never know what might happen. So yeah, 4 Yveltal-EX, 1 Hoopa-EX, 1 Friday Night Yveltal, 2 Garbodor line, 2 Shaymin-EX. That's her Pokemon lineup. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You could easily replace the 4 Yveltal-EX with Darkrai-EX and run a similar, like, super consistent engine here. But Darkrai-EX really likes its experience shares, really likes its Fighting Fury belts as well, and Garbodor likes its Float Stones, and you really can't run 10 Pokemon tool cards in a deck. So that's why you usually don't see Darkrai paired with Garbodor, because of all the tool cards clashing around. But it's an option. I guess it is an option. But Yveltal seems to suit this a lot better. We do have the 4 Sycamore, 2 N, 1 Kukui, a Straw, and then 3 Lysandre. Now, I loved having 3 Lysandre, and this is Pablo from the past. You guys are watching this in the future, or on Monday, whatever, after the Brazilian tournament. But I think the one thing, I don't know what deck I'm going to play in Brazil, or what deck I played in Brazil, but I hope I was able to find the space for a 3rd Lysandre in whatever deck I decided on playing myself, be it Decidueye, be it Volcanion, be it Darkrai, be it Yveltal. 3 Lysandre was so great. It gave me access to it pretty much almost guaranteed that I had Lysandre whenever I really needed it, and that's huge. That is just absolutely huge. We all know how many games come down to, do I get the Lysandre to win? Does my opponent get the Lysandre to win? So by increasing your Lysandre count, you are making it more likely for you to be able to get those early Lysandres to get ahead, or to get those late game Lysandres to seal off the game. So I really hope I ran 3 Lysandre in Brazil. I guess we will all find out. You guys will know by the time you're watching this, but I really hope I did play 3 Lysandre. And that's it. I mean, 4 Versicolor Voltrolls, 3 Trainers Mail, 4 Max Elixir, consistency, 4 Float Stone, consistency as well, 3 Fighting Fury Belt, 1 Super Rod, and 2 Parallel City, 9 basic energy, 4 DCE. And yeah, it's the most consistent Yveltal-EX list you will find. What's the difference between this and like the lists we were seeing for London and things like that? Those lists were dropping the Trainers Mail for tech supporter cards like Pokemon Center Lady, like Olympia, like Team Flare Grunt. They would also be running 1 or even 2 enhanced hammers, but that is no longer the case. Consistency is king, and decks are so fast now that it's very unlikely you'll be able to find like one passive turn where you're able to Team Flare Grunt an energy, where you yourself didn't need to find more energy to get into play, to set up more Pokemon, to find your Parallel, to Lysandre something up, to threaten it or knock it out. So yeah, all of that can really change a lot of things. So that's the list I used to win the League Cup. Let's play a couple of hopefully quick games. Might just be the one game because I still have a lot of videos to pre-record. So hopefully you guys don't mind. I was going to pre-record videos for Wednesday, but I figure I come back from Brazil tomorrow. So well, today is Monday. Today I'm flying back to Mexico, and I arrive, because it's an overnight flight, I arrive on Tuesday morning, and hopefully I'll be able to sleep some in the flight. Then I'll sleep some during the day for sure, and I hope that I'll have enough energy to record a Brazil analysis for Wednesday. Now my opponent, Ash Savior, seems to recognize it, so that's pretty cool. We get an atrocious hand, an absolutely atrocious hand, so hopefully my opponent spreads the love and uses a turn 1 N, or we get to top deck an Ultra Ball, because that's pretty much the only thing I would like to top deck here, an Ultra Ball or an N, but we only have 2 Ns. We do see a Shaymin start for my opponent, we see an energy, and we do see a turn 1 N. So Ash Savior, if you are watching this video, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that turn 1 N. You are a lifesaver, you are a video saver, that's what you are. And yeah, wow, seems like my opponent is running really badly. Seems like he's using Yveltal himself, because of the deck box, because of the Fighting Fury Belt, the Darkness Energy. And so, because of the potential of Max Elixirs, I'm gonna go ahead and attach the DCE. My opponent was very kind in using N for us, so I'm actually gonna use it back. Not because of that, I could Shaymin for 3 cards, but I don't think that would accomplish too much. And we do find 1 elixir, which is great. We could even, if we really wanted to, we could, with the elixir, that's not what we wanted to. We could Shaymin here. We could definitely Shaymin. Maybe I should have, yeah. Maybe I should have Ultra Balled the energy and the Versicolor away, put back the energy, played the Parallel City, and then used Shaymin and then the Max Elixir. Maybe that would have been a better play. It's fine though. Because it is Yveltal, it's very unlikely that he will be able to, or he will play a different stadium, and therefore I'm gonna go for the Shaymin play, because I would like to find more Float Stones, more things to set myself up. Hoopa is priced, but thankfully we did find 2 Yveltal-EX off of the end, so we won't be needing that Hoopa. And I'll just play the Super Rod because we don't have to be too energy efficient in the mirror match. And yeah, with the Super Rod we just get that energy back, and that's pretty good. So we get another shot at an elixir, and we whiff once again. That is not good news. That is definitely not good news. And we pass. I could Shaymin once again. I guess I'd rather wait because next turn I can attach the energy, I can evolve Garbodor because I don't have a Float Stone, and then I can Shaymin, and then I can Sycamore, looking for that Float Stone. But yeah, not hitting those two elixirs is pretty bad. And I'm not gonna lie. If we hit the next two, great, but not ideal. Not an ideal situation. There's a Yveltal-EX, so it is a mirror match. No Hoopa, which might mean either my opponent doesn't run the Hoopa or he simply doesn't have it. We top deck another Sycamore, which I am not so happy to see. But I will now dig for the Float Stone. Okay, so we find a Fighting Fury belt. I can Ultra Ball away these two, and I will go for a third Yveltal-EX. Fright Night Yveltal probably won't be too great here, or it could be. It definitely could be, but I feel like we're better off just trading with our Yveltal-EX and no Float Stone. No Float Stone, the elixirs aren't hitting, and we're just completely whiffing here. We're just completely whiffing. We could be putting a ton of pressure already, but we're just not able to. I know my opponent is also dead drawing, but yeah, now he gets a Ninja Boy, and that's pretty bad news. That is pretty bad news for us. I mean, if we lose the, I guess, okay, here's the thing. If we lose the Garbodor, that's fine, because we still play a 7 price card game, so it's actually okay to lose the Garbodor. But what I'm not happy about is the fact that that now he has Shaymin-EX. He will have Shaymin-EX as an option to recover off of this slow start, which we would have been in a really good position if we had been able to prevent it. Now my opponent does decide to Evil Ball instead, and there's the Float Zone. So my opponent does decide to Evil Ball instead of okay, so I'm gonna Evil Ball myself. Instead of taking a knockout on the Garbodor, he decided to Evil Ball. That's understandable, although questionable, I would say. Because now he doesn't have Shaymin-EX as an option to get out of the situation he's in. I mean, he doesn't know how many Float Stone I have, so he was maybe trying to buy himself another turn. I'm not sure. Now, I don't know what we're going to see here. Either a White Cyclone or an Evil Ball. He will deal 150 damage, and there's a concession. Okay. So we were in a pretty... We had the same energy in play, but we got the first hit in, so that obviously gives you an advantage. Sorry about that. And yeah, these 2 days, today is Quad Yveltal, tomorrow will be Quad Lapras. I did feature Quad Lapras right after Malmo Regionals, where the deck first showed up, but the version I am featuring tomorrow is the one that's more like it's a combination between an aggro deck and Wailord. It tries to run you out of resources and can potentially win by decking you out, but also has the option to another hello by Alexila. Has the option to go aggressive and use the GX attack to knock threats out, not threat out, to knock threats out. And okay, so we seem to be against the Decidueye Vileplume. So the 2 Float Stone are really cool. I'm not gonna grab Shaymin. Okay, I guess I'll grab it, but I'm not necessarily gonna bench it. I would love to find an Ultra Ball off of this Trainer's Mail. That would be ideal. And no, we're not gonna find the Ultra Ball. So I'm gonna grab the Reverse Seeker just to make my deck that little bit thinner and hope my Max Elixir hits. I will for sure play the Float Stone on the Hoopa, and now let's see if we can hit here. We don't once again. Ugh. Okay, maybe I can Parallel City away the Shaymin. So I'm gonna Float Stone the active, and I will not Parallel City yet. Okay, I will Shaymin for 3 cards, and then I will Parallel City away the Shaymin. Another 2 Parallel Cities, okay. There's an energy. Should I though? I guess I can wait, because I might find a Trubbish as well. I do have 2 Float Stone in play now though. And okay, so I could potentially go for the Trubbish, but now that I have 2 Float Stone, I'm not sure that's the best idea. I could also just dig deeper for more item cards through Shaymin by discarding the end, but is that something I want to do? I definitely discard the 4th Yveltal. I'm not gonna need a 4th Yveltal-EX. Do I play the passive game by keeping the N, or do I play down both Shaymins and take a risk right there? I'm gonna play the smarter match, I think, the smarter game. I will grab the Trubbish if the okay, no, there's only 1 Float Stone available. I'm gonna give up on that. There were 6 energy, 6, 7, 8, so there is 1 energy priced. Odds say we do hit, and we do, which is awesome. So I'm gonna play that energy right there, and I will pass for now. I mean, I guess strictly it's better to promote Hoopa, just in case he gets a turn 1 attack off for whatever reason. And there's a Trader's Mail. There's a Float Stone. Yeah, see? I mean, if my opponent just retreats into a Taurus or something, or a Lugia and gets an attack off, it's better for Hoopa to be damaged than the Yveltal-EX, which will pressure my opponent. But he actually decides to attach to the Rowlet, so we're not in any threat. And he loses another DC and a Dartrix. So not the greatest start for my opponent. Here's a level ball. There's a stadium as expected. So I am pretty okay with the situation we're in right now. We have 2 Yveltals with energy, we have another one with Float Stone, so there's no real risk of us getting stuck. And the Shaymin has a 1 retreat cost. We can also Sky Return it, and it's definitely not a priority for my opponent. He does bench a Mewtwo though, interestingly enough, to conserve the energy. That makes a lot of sense. We do see a Dartrix right there. We do see another Rowlet, and we're probably... Wow, we don't see a Shaymin. Okay, so I'm gonna attach an energy. We also don't see Vileplume, which is great. I'm not going to end my opponent here. And we get another turn of being able to use or to abuse our abilities and our item cards. We didn't get too many item cards though to use. I can versus Seeker away the Kukui and 1 Parallel, and that Parallel I will definitely use. I'm gonna grab a Trubbish just to thin out my deck, but I'm still gonna get rid of the Trubbish. I don't mind the item lock at this point. I have my Yveltal set up, so, and I only have 1 Float Stone, so it's very unlikely that I would be able to do something about that. And I will just, okay, no, I have to play this, and I would love a Sycamore, but I think an N is better, simply because I don't want to get rid of my energy. I don't want to discard even a single energy, because those are the cards that will make a difference here. The one thing I did wish I hit was my Fighting Fury belts before Vileplume comes into play. I doubt my opponent is dead drawing at this point. I really doubt my opponent is dead drawing at this point. Well, looks like he is. Okay, so never mind. Now grabbing the end seems like a very silly idea, but I'm not forced to play it at all. Okay, I'm gonna play the... I'm gonna play the DC here. No, because a Lugia could knock me out. Lugia would deal 80, 60, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Darkness there. I'm gonna play the Transmail, and I'm not going to play the end because my opponent is dead drawing. I could grab the Lysandre to knock out the Oddish, or the Dartrix with the DCE. I think that's a better call here. Mewtwo is not a threat. Mewtwo is not a threat. The Dartrix with the DCE and the Float Stone, that's a pretty good KO to take right here. So I'm gonna take that. They're both non-EX attackers, but this delays a possible Decidueye attack a turn further. And that's also the second Dartrix in the discard pile. He loses a Float Stone. He has 1 DC in play and 2 in the discard pile, so even if he benches a Lugia or a Taurus, it's very unlikely he'll be able to attack with them. So it was a better resource. It was a better way to rid my opponent of resources, trying to think of the later stages of the game a little bit. The Max Elixir would not have done too much to further my board. And wow, I even find another Versus Seeker. But now the Mewtwo is the threat. Now Mewtwo is the threat. I will Versus Seeker for the Lysandre, but I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna Y Cyclone here for the knockout and transfer the energy to the other Yveltal. It seems like the best play. And we're getting pretty far ahead on the prize card count. We can knock out both of these 2 basic Pokemon. My opponent seems to be relying on top decks at this point in time. And we have N and Lysandre as resources in case he does get the item lock going. So yeah, this might be another really short game. We do see a Trevenant, so that Trevenant could be really annoying, actually. That Trevenant could be a big issue for us. If he finds a Lysandre and a Grass, that Hoopa would be done for. So I wonder if I should go after the Trevenant. He's played 1 Lysandre, he's not attaching any energy. I think it'd be a good idea to try and knock it out. I'm gonna go for it because Trevenant is definitely a big threat here. If I deal, it has 180 HP, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reuse my Lysandre, or keep the Lysandre in the deck rather, and I'm gonna Evolve for a ton of damage. And then next turn I can Y Cyclone to preserve the energy if I need to. 4 cards for my opponent. Odds of Lysandre plus a Grass are very low, but wow. Wait, what? Oh boy. No damage means I'm in a lot of trouble. Oh. No damage means I'm in a lot of trouble. That actually means if my opponent wanted, if he finds a way to retreat this Oddish, he wins. If he finds a way to retreat this Oddish this turn, my opponent wins. Because he will never damage my Hoopa, and therefore I will never be able to to retreat it. Wow. Okay. Wow. This could be really bad, guys. This could be really bad. Oh. Okay, so we need to find more Lysandres. That's what we have to do. That's the last DC for my opponent. thankfully we do have 3 physical Lysandres, so eventually we should be able to Lysander something and have him not have an energy to retreat or a Float Stone. Oh, but that Trevenant is very scary, guys. Very, very scary because of my own Parallel City. My own Parallel City is hurting me right now, and it's hurting me bad. It could make me lose the game by deck out. It could easily make me lose the game by deck out. Oh. And I could end here, but let's see. Can my turns mill? No. I can, however. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab the Super Rod and I'm gonna put back the Shaymins and the Yveltal. I guess the Trubbish then. And now if I end, I might let my opponent set up further, but he would have more cards, right? I would have 24. No, he still has more. Never mind. I just have to Sycamore here. And no Lysandre. Ugh. No Lysandre. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh boy, I am in a lot of trouble here. No Lysandre and no versus Seeker. There were 2 Lysandre and just 1 versus Seeker left, I guess. Oh boy, there's a Gloom. Oh my gosh, we might actually lose this game because of the Parallel City. The Parallel City means Trevenant doesn't do any damage, and therefore my Hoopa never gets knocked out, and then my opponent can just chip away, slowly chip away at my bench. Should have used the Ultra Ball to discard the Garb and the Shaymin, but I do find a Lysandre. That's good. Now we do see an energy on the Decidueye, so I can't, however, Lysandre up. Okay, every Decidueye list runs 3 or 4 grass. 4 DC engine are in the discard pile. There's 2 grass in play now, so this Lysandre should let me promote the Gloom and possibly not allow my opponent to retreat. Oh boy, this is so bad. Yeah, this is really bad. Because my opponent actually also has the option to just Hollow Hunt and get back DCs and Lysandres to keep doing this. Oh boy. I do find a Darkness. Okay, so who do I Lysandre up? I might actually just wait. If for some reason he evolves into a Vileplume, I will be okay. So I'm gonna touch the energy there, and I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna be patient. I hope he plays down the Vileplume. He gets greedy and plays the Vileplume down. There's a Revitalizer for a Dartrix and a Vileplume, hopefully. If he evolves into Vileplume without a Float Stone, no, he grabs 2 Dartrixes. Another thing I want him to do is evolve into the Decidueye and not have the grass, or attach the grass to the other Decidueye, and that way I can. I have a few turns though before this happens. Does my opponent have N though? He's used 2. He probably has a 3rd. I don't have any more N. But now he has 19 cards to my 20. So that's in 15 turns at 300 damage. That's not enough to knock me out, or to get 6 prizes off of. And Trevenant is stuck in the active spot as well. He doesn't have a TCE, he has no way to retreat the Trevenant. And he does play the Vileplume, that's fine. Now I can get rid of this luck for my opponent. But that actually, I generally don't know if that would help me win. Okay, this is what happens. My opponent, the thing is, if he has Zen though, and he's gonna set up more Decidueye, yeah, I need to put on more pressure. So either I knock out the Vileplume, or oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, double Decidueye, that's the issue. The double Decidueye is the big issue here. Yep, there's one Feather Arrow. There's 2 Feather Arrows. Okay, but after Decidueye gets knocked out, I can actually, what I can do is set up Garb. So I don't knock out here, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 130 damage. So I'm gonna Y Cyclone to preserve the DCE. And sure, he knocks out my Yveltal, but I still have a ton of energy in play. And he's gonna have to Hollow Hunt at one point or another. Okay, so he gets a knockout on that Yveltal-EX. And now I can promote the Hoopa because there's no threat of him promoting the Trevenant. So that's really annoying. Okay, so he does go after the high energy count Yveltal-EX. And I don't know if he has any. He doesn't have any more DC, so he can't touch this Yveltal-EX. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bench the Trubbish, because yeah, and I'm gonna Yveltal. If I set up the Garb, I wish I had Garb now. If I set up the Garb, I'll be able to, even if he promotes the Trevenant, he won't have abilities. He's gonna Hollow Hunt here though, and I have no way to prevent that. And he can get back TCE, he can get back Lysandre, and he can stall me out. Ugh. We needed an end here. We needed our last versus Seeker, but we don't have it. Or the Lysandre. Ugh. This is so bad. We are going to lose this match. We are going to lose this match because of the Trevenant. We are going to lose this match because of the Trevenant. Very likely. Very, very likely. Okay, that's good. Is he going to? No, he Hollow Hunts. Okay. Well, that's still gonna let him win though. Okay, so DC, Float Stone, and Lysandre. Ugh. That's really bad. That is really, really, really bad. I have Garb. I have to force him to knock out the Garb. That Ultra Ball top deck was incredible. So I'm gonna discard this too, and I'm gonna grab the Garb. And I will evolve. I will do this. I will do this. And I'm going to Yveltal for 150 damage. Worst case scenario, he benches down a Lugia right here. That would be really bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100. Okay, no, never mind. Lugia doesn't knock me out. Never mind. Maybe I should have used Sycamore. Oh, I think I should have used Sycamore. I should have used Sycamore to find the Lysandre or the Versus Seeker. Ugh. Okay, he only has one DCE though. And if he wants to knock out the Garb, he loses the only DCE. So, yeah, I'll be fine here. I will actually be fine. Oh no. Oh yeah. I should have Lysandred. I mean, I should have Sycamore. That was really dumb of me. Wait, so he still has the DCE. And he's not going to attach it. That's very smart of him. That's actually very smart. Okay, so I top deck the Verse Seeker. I know he has one DCE to retreat, right? We know he has one DCE to retreat. And I did not check to see if my third Lysandre was in my discard pile. How many turns do I have here? I have... Hoopa is gonna be alive for 8 more turns. 8, yeah. Okay, I think passing is better here. Because he has no abilities, I am okay. He's forced to attack. His error was playing the Forest of Giant Plants. That was his big mistake here. I'm pretty sure that was his big mistake. Playing the Forest of Giant Plants. Because whenever he does knock Hoopa out, I can N. And I'll be safe. He definitely doesn't play 2 Trevenant TXs. So yeah, his error was countering the Parallel City. That was his big mistake. He would have won otherwise. He would have actually won otherwise. So yeah, I intended this video to be short, but it ended up being, it's gonna end up being more than 40 minutes. But we should have the win here though. We really should have the win, I think. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, so the other Lysandre is there. So there's two things I can do here. I can double Lysandre to force him to discard the DCE, and then I can Lysandre again. But I think it's just because that would be the play if my opponent had not countered my Parallel City. Now that he did, he's gonna have to knock out Hoopa eventually. So after Hoopa is gone, he doesn't have a great attacker to deal with my attackers. And even if he has Lugia, he doesn't have 2 DCs to Deep Hurricane. And he has no abilities. So we should be good here. We should be good. We should be good. Okay, so we see another grass energy. We really should be good. I kinda want to just thin out my deck. Yeah, there's so many energy left. I'm drawing everything but the energy. That's fine though. That's fine. And okay, that's okay. That doesn't change anything really. Gets rid of his DCE. Gets rid of his DCE. I'm just gonna attach another dark to this guy and I will pass. There's no hurry here. No hurry. Just have to be patient. You just have to be patient here. We got another energy, that's awesome. We're not gonna deck ourselves out. That's impossible at this point. I will stop playing cards though, just in case. And one more turn. Just one more turn. He can't not attack here. And we have the Lysandres to knock anything out, like to knock the Shaymin or to knock the Decidueye. After I attach the DC to this Yveltal, both of the Yveltals will have enough energy to knock out the Shaymin and will for sure have enough energy to knock out the Decidueye. And he will not be able to knock out either of my Yveltal-EXs. So we should be good here. We should be good. There's a level ball. That's not gonna change anything. There's a Rowlet. That's fine. No matter how many Decidueyes my opponent gets, he's just not gonna be able to win right here. He doesn't have enough resources to win. Okay, so there's a knockout. There's a knockout. Now, finally, I'm gonna take the go with the Float Stone Yveltal. And yeah, I'm just gonna Evil Ball for the knockout. Another N really wouldn't make a difference. I would just draw one card. I'm not threatened at all by any of his Pokemon. At all. At all. And I have Lysandre and I have Versus Seeker for the win. Now, here's something interesting. If for some reason this was a best of 3, I would play the Versus Seeker for Lysandre instead of just directly playing the Lysandre. Why would I do that? Oh my gosh. Is he really going to have another grass and a Lysandre? No way. No way. You don't have a third Lysandre. Okay. He Dark Forest. Okay. I was really scared for a second there. So if this was a best of 3 scenario, and I will do it right now, I would Versus Seeker for Lysandre. Just because I would not be revealing the fact that I have a third Lysandre in my deck. That's the only reason why I would do this. But maybe my opponent, like maybe in the second game or the third game, there could be instances where my opponent makes a play based on the fact that I've already used up 2 of my Lysandres and he does not expect the third. So it's a very minor detail and it doesn't seem that big. Like, I just need Lysandre to win, yes, but giving your opponent the knowledge that you have 3 actual Lysandre in your deck instead of the normal 2 that 99% of the people run could make a difference in the later stages of the best of 3. So that's the reasoning why. It's a very small thing that could turn into a really big thing moving forward. And yeah, that's gonna be it for Quad Yveltal. Super long video and super interesting match against the Decidueye. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you guys so much for your support. Please leave a like on the video if you can, really helps out the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow for some Quad Lapper section, and then on Wednesday where you get to see post Brazil Pablo. Thank you guys so much, and bye bye.